Cush and I did our first river crossing together. Yeah, it was cold and it was balls deep. He did a great job though. Trudged right through it like he was meant to do it. Well, Cush and I made it to our destiny. Here's one tent pad. I'm gonna say maybe 8 by 8. There's another one up there, probably 8 by 8. Fresh water about 200 feet down over the hill, and also a fire pit down over the hill. No views, no nothing up here. They just put 2 tent platforms right out here in the middle of nowhere. So Cush and I had our lunch. I split a granola bar with him. Absolutely loved it. There's water dishes right there. He just soon drank out of a muddy stream than fresh water. So just doing a little pan around here. This is absolutely wooded. The mosquitoes aren't too bad. They're flying around, but my hat's sprayed. Where's my dog? Cush's bandana sprayed. He doesn't seem to care. He's doing a great job today. Only pulled a couple times. One time was just because of a chickmunk or squirrel. But I got him to the point where I can just hook his leash. I have a retractable 10-footer. I can set it anywhere I want. And I just set it, and he just walks in front of me. I hook it right to my hip belt, and there we go. So we're heading back. I'll just give you some little views here. It just absolutely follows the river all the way. And this is a trail that you get to walk on. Super easy. The river crossing, not so much. You will get wet. Pretty good current. You could bushwhack and find an easier route, I'm sure. Dog's all tangled up. Whoa, whoa. Shit. There we go. So back to the river crossing. Probably the most difficult part of the trail. But imagine there used to be a bridge there and it just washed out. The farther you get up on this river, it's pretty amazing what water can do. All those side bankings are washed out, trees are ripped out of the ground. It'd be pretty interesting to be up here during high waters to be able to see what goes on. So a little about my dog. We got him at the SPCA. We met him first at Petco on Sunday. My daughter laid on the floor at Petco and cried, wanting this dog. I told her I'd never get another dog after I put my last one down. They're just really a lot of work. You know, I'll say it, they're an inconvenience. You know, it'd be a lot easier for me to do what I do without bringing him along. But as a pet owner, I can't just leave him in the crate. I just can't leave him in the barn all day when there's no reason he can't be out with me on a day like today. You know, harder hikes, he needs to stay home. And that's one of the reasons why I chose the river crossing today instead of bushwhacking him. Just to show him that he can do things and that he needs to listen. So he's getting kind of squirrely now, running around. I think he's just smelling other animals. So that brings me to the breed he is. He's a pit bull, 100%. I'm just going to say the name. I'm not 100% sure, but this is what I was told. I haven't done any research because I really could care less. He's an American Pit Bull Terrier. This is the size that he's going to be, 45 to 50 pounds. And he's a tank. He can go all day just like I can. Of course, I bring him food. And I really shouldn't say food, but that's what I bring him. Is I bring him his food, and I treat it like a treat when he's good. He behaves. He gets a little nibble of his food as a treat. So, back to the pit bull. This is the second pit bull I've ever owned. The other one was a mixed. Great family dog. That was about it for him. Besides that, he pretty much wanted to kill everything he'd seen, heard, smelt. whatever. Got him from the SPCA. I ended up putting him down after about a year and a half of owning him. Just because, as far as I'm concerned, I'm a responsible pet owner. I'd hate to see somebody get bit by him. And that's where it was at that point. So, this dog here, totally different animal. I wish I'd love to be able to get one of these dogs as a puppy and be able to train him from day one, because this dog absolutely, without a doubt, needs training. It's work in progress. Every time I bring him out, I introduce him to more and more. Little washout gut here. These dogs, one of the reasons they breed these dogs back in the days is for hunting. They still breed them for hunting. They're considered one of the best pig dogs you can own. They'll run and they'll fight forever, man. Especially for their masters. He is definitely a scent dog without a doubt. About, I'd say a mile on this trail earlier, he caught scent. Must have been an animal that was walking right in front of us, or earlier was walking right in front of us, because his nose went right to the ground. And this is the view I get all day long, folks. I did take a little side trail for 2 miles just to screw off, because I'm only doing 7 miles today. So, you know, let's add another couple miles on that 7. I'll put in about 10 when I finally all said and done today. So anyways, so his nose was right straight to the ground, snorting, just trying to get any scent he can from that animal that was walking in front of us. And we walked probably a quarter of a mile in that animal. I never saw a track, but it is kind of a dry trail here. And the animal just veered off into the woods. He tried to go out in the woods, of course, to follow it, and I had to stop him. I really don't think you could unleash this dog even in your backyard, because he wants to chase anything that moves or anything he smells. But as for a good dog, man, this dog is freaking awesome. This is how he's been walking for me all day. Sometimes I gotta steer him right because he gets a little squirrely in these chickmunk holes. But besides that, this is how we walk all day. He gets to the end of his leash, finds the end, and then he just strolls around and goes out through there, and I pull him back, and he'll go to the end of his leash again. I'm going to put 10 miles on my feet. He's going to put 15. He doesn't care. And I don't care either. This is how you make a dog a family dog right here, folks. Spend time with your animals. Treat them right. And they'll do the same thing for you. So I got 3.6 miles to head back out. I should have checked and seen how many I already did. I think I'm up around 7.2 right now. That was my own fault, really. I just read the sign wrong. I shouldn't even say I read it. But I just looked at it and thought the trail went that way, and I didn't get up there very far, and I knew I was on the wrong trail. But I said, what the heck, I'll put a couple miles in. See what the trail's like. Maybe next time I'll do it. Went up to a mountain. I got my map out about a couple miles up the trail. And checked it out. Really, I probably should have went that way. The trail was only, I think, 4.9. And I was easily into it for 2 miles. I walked an hour on it. But it was the mountain. It was a mountain that you would go to the top. And it was a 5,000 footer. So probably the next 2 miles is probably pretty difficult. But anyways, we turned around, and I did want to go see the campsite. Would I ever camp there? Probably not. You know, it's just, if they had a fire pit up at the top where the tent area is, that'd be pretty cool. But I really don't feel like starting a fire 200 feet away down over a steep banking and then have to put it out and scurry back up over the mountain, up over the ledges to the campsite to go to sleep. But it was a nice little area. It had a nice little fire pit. It had a couple logs to sit on. The fire pit, there was plenty of wood around too. Holy cow. Somebody brought in like a little, I don't know, 6-inch, 12-inch buck saw. He probably lived there for a month. There was wood everywhere, or a little hatchet. There's a couple birch trees that look like the state fell and dragged out of the woods because they were up by the tent area that they used to build those platforms with, and they drug them down to the fire pit. They were only probably 8 inches in diameter. So, you know, you buck them up and split them with a little hatchet and, you know, spend an hour gathering wood, and you'd have wood all night long and probably all next day for cooking or whatnot. Plenty of water up here, so you wouldn't have to truck in any water. Just filter it out of the river. There's all sorts of different filters that you can use. I'm really interested in these gravity-fed filters that all you do is, especially in a river like this, you just go down to the river, scoop your bag in. You know, you get 1-2 gallons of water depending on how big you want your bag, and it just has a fitting on the other end. You put a filter on it, and at the end of the filter there's a hose, and you can just hang it in a tree and filter it, or you can, you know, give it a little help and push the water through the filter so it moves faster for you. I have the life straw, and I also have the pump. Really, for stuff that I do, the pump is really nice, but it does weigh a lot more than that little tiny flow filter. So, you know, if you're going to do any packing where you're going to need to filter water, you know, I'd really think and go with the gravity fed. I always pack enough water so I'm not concerned for a day of hiking. Actually, I probably have enough on me for at least 2 days. I have, I think, almost 5 liters of water. Yes, I brought a little extra for Kush, but of course he didn't drink any of it. Silly dog. But here we go. This is the trail, folks. 3.6 miles. Just like this, except for the river crossing. And I'm getting up to the river crossing right now. I put my phone up in my hat so I can cross the river because it is deep and it is cold and the water is moving fast. And the dog could care less. Just like him walking on this dirt. I saw him earlier. We're coming to this log up here. I'll see what he does. He usually stops. I'm kind of like, what am I supposed to do? And then he waits for a little bit of slack. Oh, he didn't. Oh. He just jumped right over it with no slack. He usually wants a couple feet of slack. But I saw him earlier. We had 2 crossings like that, and the logs were about 6 to, I don't know, maybe 6 to 7 feet apart from each other. He jumps up on one, and he's standing there with all 4 paws on it, and he's like, what am I supposed to do? And I just told him, jump. He jumps to the next log. That was the coolest thing. Animals, they'll always make you laugh, friends.